guy. We can tackle him.
Yeah.
I need a real...
Welcome to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM. I'm Pep Fernandez. Okay, we're going to talk about the Bulldogs, the Bears, Brawls, and the Buffalo Bills. Zink, I know you're a Bills fan, and I'm going to bring it home for you. I don't want to be associated with the Buffalo Bills, and we'll explain why. So we got a big show coming up here on the Inland Sports Show. Plus, we are live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports YouTube channel, so you can check us out live there as well. So we're going to break down Week 2 of the high school football season, look ahead to Week 3, some of those big games. Redlands East Valley playing Heritage. That's a juicy game. I can't wait for that one. And we're also going to talk to the University of Redlands. Next Saturday, the Bulldogs kicking off their home opener against George Fox University from Oregon. We're excited about that. Temecula Valley High School football coming up in the second segment. So we got a lot to get to. It's all brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona. AdrenalineAthletic.com is the website for more information on their travel ball teams, training programs, boot camps. Saw Leonard Russell, former LA Ram, there the other day. He's excited about the Rams kicking off their season against the 49ers on a Monday Night Football. RE/MAX Advantage. Nobody sells more real estate. 909-307-5665 is the phone number. We appreciate their support. Spoiled. Quick quality oil change right here in Riverside. It's in the name. Get your car spoiled and yourself. You get mints. You get flowers. It's a great experience when you go to Spoiled. And Fandom House Studio. Listen, they do everything. They've got like motion graphics and photography and videography, all these different things. But what they're really excited about, and we're excited about this too, sports edits. So they do like a cool photo shoot, like a portrait. You add the graphics, the different filters. They make it look really cool. So we're giving away a sports edit every single week here on the Inland Sports Show. Our Week 0 winner of the high school football season was our top tackler. The top tackler was Nate Gardner from Temecula Valley High School. Just finishing up his photo shoot. In fact, Coach Mey just walked in. He's going to get his sports edit. It's going to look super cool. I can't wait to see it. And we're proud to announce our Week 1 winner from Ramona High School is running back Isaiah Baker. So Isaiah, out there, if you're listening, hit us up on Twitter. We'll make the arrangements for you to get your photo shoot and your free sports edit from Fandom House. It's going to look awesome, and we're excited about giving these away every single week. Our next category, we're going to call an audible and go away from football just a little bit. We're going to look for volleyball kills. So if you're a leader in volleyball kills this week, tweet us, follow us. Also follow and tweet Fandom House, and you may be a winner of a free sports edit. It's going to be awesome. All right. Now we're going to talk a little Redlands Bulldogs football because the home opener is coming up a week from today against George Fox University. And we're excited about having the Bulldogs back at Ted Runner Stadium, coming off a tough loss in Texas. We'll get to that. But, guys, welcome to the show. We appreciate you taking your time out on a Saturday. It's a bye week. So, Coach Maynard, what do you do on a bye week? Do you sit by the pool and just relax? I mean, what do you do on a bye week?
Well, I don't have a pool, and I don't really know how to relax, but we got great guys, and, we just fell short last week. So we had to fix the things that we made mistakes on last week and make sure that we get those corrected this week in practice. We did give them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. We'll be back to work on Monday.
So it was a 34-27 defeat at Trinity University in San Antonio. Coach, there had to have been some positives in that, right? Maybe the resiliency of these guys to hang tough in that game?
There really were. There were way more positives than negatives, and the guys played hard. We did a lot of good things. You know, the deal is we had 4 turnovers. You can't have 4 turnovers and win easily. So it was a game that was close. We just felt a little bit out of time in the fourth quarter.
So you've got George Fox University coming up. You played them on the road last year. They were good. Are they good again?
Yeah, I think they're a lot alike. They score. They can score points. They have a very good offensive line. I think they're tough defensively, especially up front. It'll be a real battle, and hopefully we can do it in the fourth quarter. We're expecting to play all the way to the end to win this.
29 seasons as the head football coach for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, yeah. Has football changed? Is it still the business as usual for you at the U of R?
Well, I try not to make it business as usual because the kids are awesome. The kids are still great. They love to play. They love to win. They love to work hard. They're just fun to be around. So the guys are the same. What's changed is the game. Obviously, the whole technology of the game. All of that has changed pretty dramatically.
All right, so who did you bring into the studio with us from the U of R?
Well, we have Jacob Guglielmana, and Jacob was a terrific running back. Hurt his ankle last week against Trinity. Thank you. And so that really hurt us when he went out. And then to my right is Adam, and Adam is he's just a great tackler and one of our best tacklers on our defense. And then Gonzo here at our Redlands East Valley High School not too many years ago, and one of our best cover guys and also a terrific return man.
You are the Inland Empire's football team. You don't have to say it. I'll say it for you. So when you talk about four-year universities in the Inland Empire, you guys are it. I mean, the University of Redlands is the only four-year in the Inland Empire, and I'm sure you guys are proud of that fact. You've got a lot of IE guys, as evident right here. So when you look at guys, I mean, you don't have to go very far, right, to maybe find some good talent?
There's a lot of good players all around this area. Within a 50, 60-mile radius of Redlands, there's a national championship waiting to be made, and we want to do a really good job recruiting the local talent.
So, Adam, let me start with you, and I'll just go left to right. I mean, is there a sense of pride playing for the University of Redlands? Coach Maynard, who's been around, as the head coach for 29 years. I mean, there's some tradition there, right?
There's a huge tradition when you talk about Bulldog football. Bulldog football is not anything that you should take lightly. Bulldog football is something that really sticks with you. It's pretty big. I have a lot of pride in Bulldog football just because some of my best friends I've made playing the game, and you're side by side fighting with your boys, and it's a great game, and I love playing for Bulldog football because I love going out in Ted Runner Stadium and being able to fight.
That's pretty special feeling, right? Especially for the home opener. The place is packed. You got a great student section, right? I mean, the whole atmosphere of a University of Redlands football game is pretty neat.
It's once those lights come on and the sun goes down, it's a whole different ball. Your mindset just goes into a complete. You're just going to war at that point. It's great. You get the fans behind you. You get our band, which is old alumni that come out and they like to play. It's good. It's fun. It's a great time.
Got the University of Redlands football team here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports 1350 plus live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports channel on YouTube. Danny Gonzalez, you've probably had some battles in the U of R, right? Ted Runner Stadium when you were at Redlands East Valley. Is it pretty cool for you? I know you're at Valley last year. Now at the U of R to actually be on that home field?
Yeah, it feels good because I have a lot of memories on that field, so I'm going to be able to go out on that over there, and it's just going to be fun to be able to make more memories with different brothers, and it's going to be fun.
And of course, we got Jacob Guglielmana, one of our favorites here on the show, former Elsinore High School star. We called him the Wolverine. The backstory on that, Coach Peralta would just love this kid and said pound for pound, one of the toughest, strongest football players you'll ever find. Jacob, you were a little banged up coming out of the Trinity game. So, I mean, how are you feeling right now for that home opener?
Yeah, I got a little banged up. They said it was a hyperextended ankle or whatever, but I'm good now. This week, I'm just trying to recover this week, and then I should be good by Monday's practice and get out there and prepare for George Fox.
Now, I went out to practice the other day and was talking to Austin Quickie, and he's like, that's a Temescal guy, that's a Linfield Christian guy, that's an Elsinore guy, that's a Beaumont guy.
Yeah.
I was blown away. Were you kind of blown away maybe when you first joined the team, or maybe this season you're like, man, all these IE guys, especially Southwest County and Riverside County, there's a lot of guys.
Oh, yeah, totally. When I first came here, there's actually two Elsinore guys there already with Davis Peralta and Ryan Lavender, who unfortunately aren't with us anymore, but yeah, and then we got Shallert was there, and I know Matt Shaller's from my area. And then we got Quickie there and everything. It's unbelievable how many guys we get from our area, and this makes it a lot of fun because you see those familiar faces.
Did Quickie ever get you in a high school game? I mean, did he give you a good pop in one of those games?
He says he does. He says he does, but I disagree.
Do they still call you the Wolverine? Does anybody call you the Wolverine?
No,
We're going to bring it back.
Yeah.
We're going to bring it back. That's our goal this season, to bring it back. Coach Mariani, you came all this way.
Yes.
Can I please get you on the air?
Sure, no doubt.
You came all this way. We got to put you on. Coach Joey Mariani, the defensive coordinator for the University of Redlands here. Coach, defensively,
Yes.
I know you gave up 34 against a really good Trinity team, but is there a threshold? Is there a number where you're like, if we keep them under 17 points?
I think if we go out there and we do our jobs and we play hard, down in and down out, and we play Bulldog defense like we should. I really don't worry about the number. I worry about us going out there and making sure we get that ball back for the offense as many times as possible. But we shoot for shutouts, and that's what we practice for, and that's what it is we shoot for each game. And then, when that doesn't happen, we continue to fight and continue to do our jobs, and that's what I can ask from these guys.
What did you learn from that Trinity game?
I learned we got some guys that like to fly around and hit. I really do. We're really going in. When you have camp, you kind of go, we can do this, we can do that. But when you actually get into the battle and you see your guys running around, flying around, and being very physical, that's very encouraging coming off that game. So we're definitely excited for Bulldog defense and Bulldog football from here on out. So.
Coach Maynard, how would you describe just the whole presence of playing a game at Ted Runner? As we said, you guys are really the only 4-year college football team in the Inland Empire. Great student section, as Adam pointed out. Thurber's out there. I mean, the whole scene is awesome. It's a picture-perfect scene for college football. How would you describe it?
I would say, much like you've already described it, it's the environment of which college football should be. We have the pep band. We may not have the 100-person marching band, but we have a whole lot of fun stuff going on. And what's really cool about it is the young men, their parents are there, their best friends on campus are there, people that they go to class with every day are there. And so the people that are cheering for them are people they know. Not a bunch of people they don't know, but people that they love and care about and who respect them and come to their games because they want to be for their team and for Adam and the other guys. So that's I think what makes it so special. And we appreciate the fact that people do come and follow the Bulldogs. It makes a difference to our young men.
I was looking at, doing some homework, looking at the history of the football program. Does it go back like 100 years? I mean, has the U of R football really been around that long?
Yeah, golly, I'd have to check, but we celebrated our 100th anniversary in 2005, 6, 7, something like that. I think the first football team was 1907. I'll make a guess.
But there's deep roots, and obviously football's a huge thing in the Redlands community. So you're kind of representing the IE. Of course, you're representing Redlands.
Yes, sir.
So a lot of people like to back that, right? I mean, they want to be associated with
And I
Redlands
hope
football.
that they'll continue to do that. They can drive into LA and see USC play, and they can drive into Pasadena and see UCLA play, but they can come right here, get a much cheaper ticket, and see some guys who really love to play and who aren't getting paid to play, but doing it because of the love of the game.
So Adam, you're on the defensive side of the ball, right?
Yeah,
Oh
I am.
yeah.
Is Coach Mariani, is he a yeller? I mean, what kind of a coach is he?
Well, Coach Mariani is he's my defensive coach as like a position group, and I'd say he's my favorite coach because
He's right here.
It's a great call.
He will get in, like he'll definitely yell if you're like not doing your job and you're slacking. He'll definitely get in your mix, but for the most part, like he's laid back, like he understanding, and like he talks to you, like he's not just like strict all 24 hours. Just he knows what he's asked to do, he knows what he got to do, and he knows that what we have to do, and he helps us do that. And I have mad props for Coach Mariani.
Mad props, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He was talking about Bulldog football, and how would you describe that brand of football on the defensive side? Is it getting to the ball in a bad mood? Being physical. I mean, how would you describe what you guys do on defense?
It's all in our mentality, I think, in Bulldog football. I mean, our captains try to implement like really flying to the ball and like doing everything you can, 100% every play, and we all strive to get to the ball and try to strip it out. Like one person holds up, the other person tries to get the ball out. We're all flying around. Like it's good because when we all get mad, we're all out there just wanting to hit somebody, and like we want to beat the guy in front of us. And we want to hit him hard.
So let me ask Danny. So the secondary guys usually have that rap, like, well, they don't want to tackle, right? They want to stay away from the contact, so the cornerbacks, right? So how would you describe your play out there? Are you looking for the contact? Like, that's all right, throw the ball my way.
I want to hit somebody, and I also want them to pick on me. It's more fun in the game. Like, if they want to pick on me, I'll show them not to pick on me.
And if you're lining up with like maybe a 6'3" receiver, do you think they're looking at you outside and saying, you know what, we're going to go for that guy over there, right?
Yeah.
And then make them pay for it?
Yeah, it's the best feeling.
And in our defense, there's times where our corner is the free hitter in our defense, so he's got to put his big boy pants on and get in the box and does a really good job. And Danny did a really good job of that last week as well.
Against Trinity University.
He's definitely physical, so yes.
And Jacob, offensively, I know you got some playing time last season as a true freshman out of the backfield.
Yeah.
This year back as a sophomore, you got some carries obviously in the Trinity game. Without putting words in Coach Maynard's mouth, but how do you see your role on this team? And you're wanting to get the ball and make some plays.
I'm just trying to do whatever they ask me to do, to my best ability, whether it be catching passes out of the backfield or whatever, but just doing whatever I can to help my team and get wins. I want to win this season. I want that ring.
And you don't shy away from contact either, right?
Oh, no.
You're not the big. Listen, truth be told, you're not the biggest guy in the world, right? But you go right for that contact. You have no problem with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see, like, when I'm on the field, I don't really see myself as smaller than people. I just kind of go out there and play like I'm just one of the other players, you know? So I don't know. I don't really see that.
You talked about winning that championship, and what do you think it's going to take for this Bulldogs team to continue to progress, get better, and have a chance to win that conference title at the end?
I think it's going to take just to learn from our mistakes, each week. So Trinity, we definitely had mistakes, which Coach talked about turnover and stuff like that. I just think it's good for us to learn and build off of our mistakes each week, each and every week. And I think by the end of the season, we'll live up to our potential and we'll get that ring.
And Coach Maynard, let me ask you, as you kind of inch closer to conference play, not too far from now, because the 9-game schedule still kind of throws me off, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are you hoping to see from your team in the next couple of weeks, before that conference?
Well, we've got a long ways to go to reach our potential, and Goose mentioned it just a little bit ago. And, we really don't know how high our potential is. But I really believe that this team, there's something unique about this team, and it started last November when they started training. I watched it all through the off season, just in terms of their attitude and their effort. And I think there's something special about this team. They'll go a long way, and they'll fight hard to reach their potential. And I like our chances of being at the top when this season's said and done.
Let me ask you this. So, in terms of making the playoffs, do you just win your conference and you get an automatic spot?
Without that 10th game, which is a league rule, and it's one of the things I've been fighting for almost 3 decades to try to get that 10th game, because other schools can play 10 games in Division III, but we can't. So it's a conference rule. But if we win our conference, then we are automatically have a bid into the tournament. We know that if we make that, because of the logistics of the situation, we're probably going to go to Oregon or we're going to go to Texas. Even if we went 9-0, because they played 10. So if they're 10-0 and we're 9-0,
it looks better.
We're still going to be ranked below them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So we kind of get how it's going to go. It's going to be hard for us to get a home game, and that's the part that I think really doesn't serve our young men.
So obviously these non-conference games, don't get me wrong, they're important.
Yeah.
But they're kind of like a learning tool to get ready for that conference.
We want to play good teams because they help us to get ready.
Yeah.
And they also help your strength of schedule. And that power ranking really makes a difference when it comes to, getting into the playoffs. So we try not to put all that in front of one game at a time, because we got a long way to go just to be effective this week. But the scheduling is a major factor at Division III, and I think that's probably true of other divisions as well.
All right, guys. Best of luck against George Fox University. I sincerely appreciate you taking the time out on a Saturday. Go out and win that SCIAC ring. That'd be awesome. And we'll see you at the University of Redlands. That's September 17th. The Bulldogs home opener against George Fox University. When we come back, Temecula Valley High School football, and we'll talk week 2 of the high school football season on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
Thanks, man.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
excited about offering still and motion photography, motion graphics, which is like television style, promo style graphics, and sports edits, which we're really excited about because we get to incorporate not only photography but graphics and effects, which is I'd say our strength. You know, something that screams action, athletic, information, all in one unit, and easily to share with friends, family, coaches. Get you something creative, have fun with it, have fun with the photo shoot. We have our gear that we need to be ambitious with our production value. Really excited about the offer of sports edits, and especially when you see some of the major college programs, what they come up with, and the fact that we can have just as good a production value. You know what, I don't think we've really seen the potential of what we can do with the sports edit. That's part of the reason I'm kind of excited. More to come, I guess.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM, plus live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel. Once again, congratulations to Isaiah Baker, running back out of Ramona High School, our Fandom House Studio Sports Edit winner for this week. We got Nate Gardner, our Week 0 winner, coming up in just a moment here as the Temecula Valley Golden Bears are in the house here on the Inland Sports Show. Kind of surprised Coach Maynard's not hanging out by the pool on a bye week. You know, he's out there scouting teams, right, breaking down film, hunkered down somewhere at the U of R, getting ready for their home opener against George Fox University. We're brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training, Remax Advantage, Spoiled, Quick Quality Oil Change, Kin's Sporting Goods, celebrating 40 years in the Inland Empire and still going strong, and of course, Fandom House Studio. We're excited about this. We want to tell everyone, even though we're about 2 months away, but the second annual Austin Gorham Memorial Baseball Tournament is back. Last year it was right around Christmas time. This year they moved it up. It's going to be a couple days right before Thanksgiving, November 19th through the 21st. The backstory on that is Austin Gorham, a guy who played baseball at JW North, suddenly passed away while he was at the University of Nevada, Reno. And this baseball tournament continues to keep his legacy going and remind people of the special person that he was. Last year they were able to pass out $6,000 worth of scholarships. And we're proud to say here at Inland Sports, we're going to be covering some of those games live on our channel, so you can watch especially the championship game. And some of the teams have already committed to be in this, including Temecula Valley, Murrieta Mesa, Ramona, Palm Springs, Carnegie, Hillcrest, Centennial, Corona, Riverside, Poly, and King. And they're actually looking for a couple more. So if you're interested, please reach out to me, reach out to Inland Sports. We can put you in touch. And they will also have a program for the baseball tournament. So if you're a local business or an owner and you'd like to advertise in the Austin Gorham Memorial Baseball Tournament program, you can hit us up as well. Austin's birthday would have been on Monday. So we're excited to be a part of that and continue to have his memory resonate here in the Inland Empire. All right, high school football, we just finished up week 2. It's in the rear view mirror. We're looking ahead to week 3. And these guys play in probably at least one of the toughest leagues in Southern California. We're talking about the Temecula Valley Golden Bears high school football team here on the Inland Sports Show. Coach Mey, he's brought a couple of the guys as well, and you started off the season with a nice win against San Jacinto, right?
Yes, sir.
They were great last year. I'm assuming they're still good. Well, Coach Galliano, we're a fan of his. Then he came back, he saw Elsinore, and it was 28-zip. The wheels kind of fell off. What happened in that game against Elsinore?
Well, that first week against San Jacinto was a real physical game, and we got a little beat up that week. We were really happy to have a bye this week. And then going into Elsinore, I really like Coach Peralta. He does a great job. I've gotten to know him over the last couple of years. He's a guy I'd like my kid to play for, and he does a really good job. And they just handed it to us. I mean, physically, they dominated us. We got out-coached. We got outplayed. We got out-hit. It was not one of our better games. But they're a good team. 3-0 right now,
Yeah.
and Coach Peralta is one of the better coaches around.
The bye week's a funny thing because if you're a football team and you're healthy and you're playing well, it's like you don't want the bye, right? You just want to keep going through. But in your case, it was a good time to have that Friday night off last night.
Right. That first week was pretty physical, and then last week was really physical. We had some kids get sick this week, and it was a welcome sight for us this week to have the bye.
So here's what the rest of your non-league looks like, and it's not easy, right? I mean, before Southwestern League play, you're at Santiago, at Paloma Valley, and then you've got Riverside Poly on your final non-league game. So what are you hoping to see, Coach Mey, from your team in these next 3 before you really reach that gauntlet of Southwestern League action?
Well, my first 2 years here, our non-league schedule wasn't as good as the league schedule. So we kind of ran the gauntlet in our non-league, and then we get into league, and I didn't think it was preparing us to compete in the league. So one of the things we wanted to do this year was step up that non-league schedule. So we've definitely done that. We need to get better and better and better each week, and we talk about the process, what it is week to week, what we're trying to do, and we've got to stay healthy also.
That's a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're seeing, there's no nights off in the Southwestern League. I mean, that's an
a
understatement,
gauntlet.
right? Talk about who you brought from your team today, Coach.
Well, we have Zach Simon here. He's one of our Division I athletes. He's got an offer from SDSU this summer. We have Dwayne Holmes, who's one of the better basketball players in Southern California. He's a point guard for us and a corner. And then we have Nate Gardner, who's he's our strong safety and our fullback this year. So kind of the 3 amigos on offense, trying to get the ball to them a lot, and then they got 2 lockdown corners and a guy who's a big hitter. Even though he doesn't look the part of the big hitter, he is a big hitter.
He likes that contact?
Yes.
All right, and Nate, you just had your photo shoot at Fandom House. What did they do? Seriously, pull the curtain back a little bit and reveal, how did it go? I mean, do you doing crazy poses? I mean, how did the Fandom House shoot go?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They had strips of like paper that they had of our school colors they wanted to grab to make it visualize me making a tackle, because that's what the whole thing was about, was my tackles I made. And he was just having me do a bunch of different cool poses and stuff, and there was different lightings and different reflections. He's gonna put a bunch of background stuff on it and make it look cool, so it was pretty cool.
Nice. So yes, it was 19 tackles, right?
Yeah.
Against San Jacinto in that week 0 win. That's a huge game, Coach. Does it feel like he had a twin brother out there just flying around? He's all over the field. I mean, there's got to be 2 of this guy, right?
Yeah.
Did it feel?
I don't know if we were in that game without him that night. He played really well that night.
All right, we've also got Zach and Dwayne over here, and guys. Obviously, I don't want to harp up too much on that Elsinore loss, but what did you guys learn from that game? And you've had 2 weeks to stew about it, which is a long time to stew about a loss like that. But what did you guys learn from that game that you're trying to remedy, get better before that next game against Santiago?
Really, we just learned that we just got to see past the mental mistakes. We made a lot of mental mistakes, and we just kept it in our heads the whole entire game. We just got to have short-term memory and just keep on rolling after that.
How about you, Dwayne?
Just the same thing as Zach said. I feel like just the little stuff we need to work on. It wasn't they outplayed us, but it was a lot of mental mistakes and little stuff that cost us the game. So we had to work on that for sure.
All right, Dwayne, if I asked you, are you a football player? Are you a basketball player? What would you say first? I'd say, hey, Dwayne, what do you do? What do you play?
I'm going to say...
Coach May's right here, by the way, so...
I'm going to say when it's football season, I'm a football player. I should say I'm a basketball player.
That's the right answer right there.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll go left to right, but let me start with Zach over here. What are you hoping to see from this team when you take the field against the Santiago Sharks? I mean, obviously you said a lot of it was just mental stuff, between the years, right? I mean, what are you hoping to see from your team in that next game?
Really, we just have a lot of young guys out here, starting, and so it's just mental. We just gotta look past everything. We gotta hustle everywhere. A lot of guys going both ways. So really, it's just heart. We all gotta play with heart. We gotta keep that up this year.
How about you, Dwayne? What are you hoping to see?
I just hope to see intensity. If anything, I want to see hope we all play with effort, because I mean, effort is everything. And even when you mess up mentally, you can always, the effort will pick up sometimes. So.
You're absolutely right. And how about you, Nate? Like, what did you learn from that Elsinore game that you want to really apply to that Santiago game coming up next week?
I just like to see like better execution of just the basic fundamentals. That's a lot of what our problem was. People just weren't executing their job well. Some people thought they had to do too much because, and we just been talking about this whole week. Just need to do your job. If everyone just does their job, you'll be fine. We have a lot of talent on this team, but there's also a lot of young kids, so it's a lot of mental things as well. But if everyone just does their job and executes and puts all their effort forward, we should be fine.
Well, Coach Nate makes it sound easy. How hard is it as a coach when you're like, guys, trust the guy next to you. This is what your assignment, this is what you're going to do. Is it hard to kind of get that message through?
Yeah, especially when you got a young team, and then some of the older kids who are really good athletes are trying to do too much sometimes, and so especially on the line, our offensive line, we're starting 2 sophomores, and so when we watched the film, we looked at them, and for them, we're keeping it simple. They probably played better than anybody else that night because they stuck to their rules and took the correct steps and things they needed to do.
Did you guys drop the brown from the uniforms? Or is it in there somewhere, or am I just...
We still have brown, yes.
Okay. I was just curious. It's like the Wyoming look, right? You know,
yes.
The brown and the yellow. I always kind of like that. It's just different.
So now today, everybody's got different uniforms,
yeah,
colors, everything. So you've thrown a splash of this and that. So we have gray we've added. We've got black that we've added, just to make it more fashionable for today's kids, which is a big thing to today's kids.
It is,
for some
right?
reason. Yes.
I know when teams come in here, they're like, oh, we got 9 different uniform combinations, and we got this, and we got that. Who picks? Captains? Coach? I mean, who picks, like, what uniforms you wear that night? Do you have different combinations that you can put together?
Well, for us, we have one combination. We just switched to new uniforms last year from Under Armour, and then so next year the plan is to add pants to that. Then you add another combination.
Oh, I
next
see.
Year,
budget,
black.
right?
Yeah, budget. You got a budget. Everything's self-supporting nowadays, and then we want to get an all-black set for the future and call them the Reapers for the playoffs.
Nice. For the playoffs.
For just the playoffs.
We've got the Temecula Valley High School football team here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio 1350 AM, live and amplified around the world on the Inland Sports Channel. Let's talk about the Southwestern League. There's no secret. It's brutal. There's so many good teams. There's so many good players. Do you look at your non-league as a way to, basically stay healthy, of course, right? But also, work on some things because you're going to see Vista Murrieta, Chaparral, Great Oak, Murrieta Mesa is much improved. I mean, there's some really good teams in the Southwestern League.
Exactly, and after my first 2 years, every year we sit down and we evaluate everything and how things are going, and after the first 2 years, we sat down and said we really need to increase the level of competition of what we're doing in non-league to get us better prepared for that.
Nate, do you know those guys at some of the other schools?
Yeah, I'm friends with a lot of guys, especially from Shap, because I live close to Shap, and I went to middle school with a lot of them, so I'm familiar with a lot of them, and some kids at Vista too, and Great Oak. So yeah, I know a lot of those kids.
Friendly banter, I guess the game of weeks, like leading up to the games or something like that.
I'm cool with them off the field and stuff, but when it comes time, like when league comes around and when it's the week we're playing them, and when we're on the field, it's a completely different story.
Guys, let me ask Zach and Dwayne over here. So Santiago played Vista Murrieta last night. Murrieta Valley played that team from Colorado. It was like 50-49 game. It was a crazy game. So how much is, do you guys kind of keep an eye on, like, what are those other teams doing, or how much is just about your business? Like, if we don't even worry about, if we don't focus on what we're doing, it doesn't matter what Vista Murrieta or Murrieta Valley or what they're doing. I mean, do you guys just, like, hone in on what you're doing and not, look around too much?
I mean, for me, I was actually at the Murrieta Valley game last night. I watched it. It was just a good game to catch.
What happened at the end? Was it like a last-second play? Like I really don't know what happened.
Yeah, MV, they drove it down, scored a touchdown really quick, and there was like a minute 49 seconds left, and then the Colorado team drove down actually, and they scored. And then for the 2-point conversion, they did I don't know what it's called, like a Statue of Liberty or something like that. Where
like the Boise State Broncos statue. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then the running back just walked into the end zone, and that was it. That was the game.
All right, so you're telling me that they scored a touchdown and the coach said we're not playing for a tie. We're going to win or lose this on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, they went big.
Did you hear about that, Coach? The Statue of Liberty play? Man, that's
I was
pretty
in Santiago
ballsy.
watching next week's opponent.
Oh my gosh! Would you do that Statue of Liberty play, or some of those kind of gimmick? I don't want to say gimmicky, but
Well, I guess if I traveled all the way from Colorado, I'd have to go big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, right? One of the top-ranked teams out there from Colorado. That was 50-49. Yeah, last night against Murrieta Valley. Coach, let me ask you this. So, got that Southwestern League schedule, tough games. You got some great opponents in the non-league. But you brought up playoffs. I mean, is that still the goal at the end of the season? Like, hey, guys, you know what? We could do this.
Well, with the new playoff format, I think that's one of the reasons why we increased our non-league competitions is those PowerPoints and trying to get in there. We're in Division 5 right now, and we think we have a good shot if we get in with the competition we're playing to do well.
Yeah.
But we got to get there first, and so we got to take it 1 week at a time. Looking at Santiago this week, they're 1-2 right now, but they've played some really good opponents. They're big and they're physical also. They've got a lineman number 65 who's really good. Their running back 22 is really good, and we got to focus on them. We can't worry about the future, and we just keep reminding them it's the process. Week in, week out, it's the process. Off-season process, and everything. They're just getting better every week.
So here's Division 5, at least for the Inland Empire schools. Of course, the Golden Bears here. We got Riverside King, Corona, Redlands, Roosevelt, San Jacinto. Could be a playoff game. You guys already saw the Tigers, Riverside Poly, and Paloma Valley. Those, I mean, that's heavy on the IE right there. Some really good teams, but really in the end, you got to get to the playoffs first, right? If you get to the playoffs, you got a shot, but just to get there is the battle, right?
Right, and so we have Santiago this week and Paloma Valley. They've gotten us the last couple of years by less than a touchdown each game. So, and then we have Poly coming up. So those three, San Jacinto, Paloma Valley, and Riverside Poly, all three in Division 5 with us. Those are going to be key games for us.
So with this new playoff format, I mean, it sounds like you're a fan. Like it's working, you know, maybe in your favor based on competitive equity and what you guys did the last 2 seasons. So is there, you know, is the battle cry like, hey guys, you know, if we win, it's not like we're going to go to the West Valley Division or whatever it was last season for the Southwestern League schools. I mean, you just have to get there, though.
We have to get there.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, you know, we just keep trying to improve on that process. And we talk a little bit before the season about playoffs and goals, but then in the season, we don't really talk about that. It's that next opponent. You don't want to get too far ahead.
Yeah.
And besides, by the time we get to Week 10, who knows what team you've got left on the field?
Yeah.
You have eligibility and grades and injuries and things like that. So every week's a different challenge for us.
Is the new playoff format, because it's very fluid and people are still trying to figure this out. Like if you know, before it's like, oh, if you finish in the top 3 in your league, you automatically get a playoff spot. But that's kind of all out the window, isn't it?
I have no idea. To be honest,
you're like, we're gonna get to Week 10 and to find out where we're at.
And then we find out. I have no idea how you get in, how you don't get in. I've asked around, and half the people don't seem to know, and the other half are giving me different answers. So, and as a coach, I'm just worried about the next opponent. And if we win and we do our jobs, things will take care of itself.
All right, guys, we're running out of time, but I want to ask you real quick. We'll just go left to right. And Zach, you know, what are the keys for the Golden Bears coming up? These, you know, last 3 non-league games where you get to Southwestern League play. What are you hoping to see from your team to at least, you know, get you guys optimistic? Like, you know what, I feel good about this team going into Southwestern League play.
I mean, definitely first off is see how well we do against Santiago, and then just playing physical for the next few games. That's all we got to do as a team. Play as a team, get through it.
How about you, Dwayne? The point guard.
I think we should just play with pride and, like I said, effort. I mean, like, when you're playing with effort and pride, it feels like nothing can get in front of you.
Yeah, some of the plays might not go your way, but if you know, the effort, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
you can always have the effort.
Defense. You get back on defense if you mess up on offense. So that's what I see.
How about you, Nate?
Yeah, I think we just execute our game plan. You know, we usually have pretty good game plans. Coaches are good at coming up with strategies to do our opponents, and if we can play to the level that we're able to and get a couple W's in these last couple of weeks going to the league, I think it'll benefit us going forward in the league with a tough schedule to help us achieve our goal this year.
Yeah, because win or lose, right, if you're playing good teams, it kind of helps, right, in this new playoff format, I think, right? So,
yes,
just having Santiago or Paloma Valley or somebody like that on the schedule is a good thing. Elsinore.
Yes.
So.
Having them there is going to help us. Everybody we're playing is a good quality team. Elsinore right now is 3-0, and we have Santiago coming up that's going to be pretty good too.
Yeah. One of these days, I'm just going to sit down, I'm going to hunker down and break down this formula that the CIF use, because I'm still like, okay, what does this mean? Okay, so all the league champs go to their divisions, and then they take all the second place and they slot them in their divisions, and when it runs out, I guess. Right?
Yes.
Does that sound about right?
Well, if you figure it out, let me know.
I'll let you know.
Let the coaches know.
All right, Coach Mey, guys, I really appreciate it. Best of luck to the Golden Bears the rest of the season, and we're excited to have you on the show. And Nate, I'm glad you liked your photo shoot with Phantom Out Studio.
Yeah, it was cool. It was good to show.
All right, when we come back, more high school football chatter. We'll kind of put a bow on week 2 of the season, look ahead to some of those big games coming up in week 3. And if we've got time, Maybe we'll touch on UCLA for David Zink. Maybe we'll talk Blake Barnett in Alabama. That's all coming up here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
That we offer here, the performance training is definitely specific to what they need. A lot of people actually come in here for the performance training, and also we have our travel ball program with our softball and baseball teams. Our performance training definitely to get quicker, stronger, faster.
Right now.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. We have Phantom House Studio taking some pictures of the Temecula Valley Golden Bears. Congratulations once again to Ramona running back Isaiah Baker. He's our Week 1 winner. We were looking for the top running back in the Inland Empire. We got a lot of great nominations. They were tweeting us. That's all you got to do is follow and tweet Inland Sports and at Phantom House Studio. And then we'll pick a winner every single week. So Isaiah Baker, Ramona, running back, you are the Week 1 winner. We're going to call the audible, go away from football just a little bit for a week. We'll probably do the top running back contest again later in the season because it was a good one. There's so many great running backs in the Inland Empire. So we'll probably do it again in a couple weeks. But for this upcoming week, for the Phantom House Sports Edit giveaway, we're looking for volleyball kills. So if you're a volleyball player out there and you had a ton of kills in your match this past week, we want to hear from you. Follow us, tweet us, and let us know. We're looking for volleyball kills this upcoming week for the Phantom House Studio Sports Edit Contest. We're brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona. AdrenalineAthletic.com is the website. Spoiled, quick quality oil change. Remax Advantage, offering full service real estate along with escrow and loans. RemaxAdvantage.me. Also serving Lake Arrowhead. Ken Sporting Goods, celebrating 40 years. That's not by accident. They're the very best, serving the Inland Empire since 1976. Letterman's jackets, team sales, embroidery. They do a little bit of everything. Design, they can hook it up. Ken Sporting Goods, and of course our good friends at Fandom House Studio. And congrats to Nate Gardner from Temecula Valley High School, our first winner in the Fandom House Sports Edit Contest. All right, a reminder, every single Friday night, Sports Weekly Live back on IEMG TV 3. That's Time Warner 3, Charter 3. It's also on Verizon and AT&T. If you don't get it, it's all good. Just go to YouTube and search IE Media Group Live, 11 to midnight every single Friday night. We had a lot of great games last night. And a good one on Thursday as well, including San Gorgonio taking on Summit. You can go back and watch those highlights on Sports Weekly Live last night. And Zink, I bring this up because San Gorgonio loses to Summit. They've got a gauntlet coming up, next couple games. They've got Yucaipa next. Now, if you think about it, Yucaipa not only beat San Gorgonio last year during the regular season, but Yucaipa beat them twice. They beat San G in the playoffs, and now they get to see Yucaipa again coming off a tough loss to Summit. That's one of those games we're keeping an eye on for Coach Geringer. He was not happy.
And Yucaipa's ramping it up. I mean, they're playing some good football right out the gate.
Yeah, Yucaipa, I mean, I don't want to say they warned us, but they told us, you know.
No, they warned us.
We feel pretty good. They got 10 starters back on the offensive side of the ball, including their quarterback, Nathan Martinez. That's going to be a tough matchup, I think, for San Gorgonio. So that's one of the games we're keeping an eye on in week 3 of the season. Some of the other scores from last night that will play a factor into the games coming up this week. So Upland beat Rev 44-34. They beat them by 10. So now Rev has to bounce back, and they get Heritage. That feels like a CIF championship game written all over it in the old world of the Inland Division, but they're both Division II, so I guess technically there's some other schools like Marietta Valley, Oaks Christian in that division, but it feels like that could be a CIF championship game.
So this is a pecking order game, really, because it's where you're going to be in Division II, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to, the winner of that game will be a higher stature in that division.
You know, it's interesting, like, so all these teams go out and they schedule, you know, their opponents, right? And they think, okay, well, you know, that's a Pac-5 school, or that's an Inland Division school. We're going to stay away from them because we'll probably see them in the playoffs. Well, they switched the playoff format. So now it's like, okay, we scheduled Heritage, or we scheduled so-and-so. It's like, well, that's a playoff team now. So anyways, that's a great matchup. It's next Friday night, Citrus Valley High School. Heritage taking on Redlands East Valley. We've also got the rivalry game with the Rancho Verde High School in Citrus Hill, the Val Verde School District battle. Jeff Steinberg beat the Burroughs last night, 50-30. So.
And then after the game, ate pizza and soda, and then sent them off on the bus.
Is that what happened?
That's what good friends do after they win a football game. Yeah, Coach Steinberg said that he didn't want them to have to drive and try and figure out dinner on the way back. So game ended.
Really?
No, seriously. I mean,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
As a host, that's very nice. As it was, the JV team for Rancho Verde had to make the drive to Burroughs to play a JV game. Think about that.
That's a long way.
You're a JV player going 3 hours to go play a football game.
Go to the high desert, and then keep going, and then go a little bit farther than that,
right.
And you're in Ridgecrest for the Burroughs.
When you get towards the 14 somewhere,
if you hit Nevada, you've gone too far. Turn around, come back this way. So you were telling me, if we can move on, you were telling me about Centennial.
Yeah.
And you know, intern Mason did a great job, covered the Centennial Orange Lutheran game last night, got his video highlights for Sports Weekly Live, and he gave me a halftime update. He said, hey, Pep, Centennial dominating. It's 21-zip. And I was like, okay, yeah, you know, I expect Centennial to be up by a couple touchdowns. But you told me, I didn't know this, you told me Orange Lutheran had this wacky game plan going in to see the Huskies.
They did. They wanted to manage the clock. They had long drives, 6-minute drives in the first half. They kept the football. In fact, never scored. They would get all the way down there, couldn't score. So they were just holding the football. And I went to the game, you know, and although Matt Logan didn't look extremely excited on the sideline with some of the play, you know, it's one of those things. I think it's more frustrating for him that you know, you're trying to get something done, do what you do, and another team's trying to thwart it with, let's, you know, see how long we can hold on to the football because it's the only way we can stay in range of them.
Yeah.
As it was, they won relatively easily, and on a brand new field, beautiful brand new field.
That's right. If you're watching this live and amplified real quick, we've got some video highlights playing. Yeah, it's the red, like everything just like pops off the field.
And I guess the rest of the schools in the district that have fields are going to get new turf this summer. So That's what I'm told. I might be off base on that, but that's what I'm told. The one thing I will say about Centennial is they again are just, I thought Tyjon Lindsey not going there would be like something that would hurt him. They got so many receivers. I don't know where he'd get a rep.
Yeah.
I mean, the number 5, the young kid.
Yeah, Manny
junior.
Allen, Justin Fisher, Xavier Marshall, Troy Spencer,
Loaded. I mean, in the great backfield, they got a quarterback, McKee, who can get it done.
Yeah, Miles Reed. I mean, he's good for at least 200 yards a game.
Yeah, it's just, and now that Bosco's lost to Gorman, I guess we'll probably get back into the reality that Centennial's probably the best team in California.
After IMG escaped, I keep using that word, escaped. They escaped back with a 1-point win.
De La Salle escaped last night, too.
Saw that against Servite.
Yeah.
I'm surprised about that.
Yeah. So, you never know. I mean, we could say all we want. I guess you just got to play it out on the field.
How about Marietta Valley? So they played one of the top teams from Colorado.
Lose.
And I didn't. Did you hear what Zach said? Zach Simmons from Temecula Valley.
No.
He was at the game last night, and I said I just saw the final score. Marietta Valley lost by 1 to the team. It was Grandview, I think it was, from Colorado.
Grandview, Colorado.
And he's like, "Oh, it's crazy. Marietta Valley scored like a minute and a half. The team from Colorado got the ball, came back down, scored a touchdown." So they went for win or lose. They went for the 2-point conversion. They were going to win it or were they going to lose it? And he says it looked like the Statue of Liberty play. And the guy walked in untouched on the 2-point conversion, and that was it.
That's pretty.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild, and it's reminiscent of Centennial playing against IMG, where you're basically allowing somebody to score because I want the ball back. I'm going to go down there, score, and win the game.
When you're scoring at will, it's a high-scoring game. Your clock management, right? Okay, they're going to get a touchdown. How much time can we get coming back?
Yeah.
That's kind of a weird way to coach, but that might be the reality of it.
It's the change, and because the speed of the game has picked up so much that you're like, I can get down the field in 35 seconds. Let's go.
Marietta Valley now plays Rancho Cucamonga. That's a pretty good game coming up. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Rancho Cucamonga is a beast of a team. And they're just getting better. They're going to get some of those kids that never made it over to Centennial. They'll just get better. But
yeah, seriously.
Rancho Cucamonga, last year in the playoffs when they played Vista Marietta, I thought, wow, what a fantastic football team. But I've only seen film of them. I haven't seen them in person this year. But wow, good team.
Okay, we got 1 more minute before we have to thank our fine sponsors. We're going to take a look at the rankings because we have some movement, including, you can touch on this real quick, Notre Dame played St. Paul last night. The game was called. The benches clearing brawl at RCC. They didn't even finish. So the way I understand it, so St. Paul was up 17-0 in the third quarter, so they get the win.
Controlling the game. So, that's going to be determined by the CIF. This is now investigated. So this is something that went down. The game didn't finish. I don't know what's going to happen. The principal from Notre Dame I've been in contact with, he's going to get me a statement later on today after he talks to Derek Johnson and the assistant principal. And there's other things that are playing on there. I mean, Sondheimer has already spoken with St. Paul. I think it's principal who really said nothing other than what we already knew.
Because we really don't have a lot of details. All we know is third quarter, St. Paul is up 17-0, benches clearing brawl at RCC, game called, over.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stories out there, this, that, and the other, but we'll wait and see. I think worst case scenario, they could both have to forfeit the game. Worst case scenario, they could.
I think you're right.
I mean, that best case scenario is neither one of them do, and they say slap on the wrist, don't do it again.
Yeah. So we'll see how that pans out. Real quick, here's our grade 8 and 4 more. Of course, we've got Centennial at 1, Vista Marietta, followed by Marietta Valley, Heritage, Norco, Cajon, Paloma Valley, Rev, and then our 4 more, San G, Rancho Verde, Notre Dame, and Summit. We're going to have some movement. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but next week when we see the rankings, it will be different. We got to thank our fine sponsors once again, Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona, adrenalineathletic.com. RE/MAX Advantage. Nobody sells more real estate than our good friends at RE/MAX, 909-307-5665. Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Ken's Sporting Goods celebrating 40 years in the Inland Empire. And of course, Fandom House. Hooking up Nate Gardner from Temecula Valley with the photo shoot. Real quick, we got a minute left. We've got a new intern on the show, young Colin Holt from Carnegie High School. You played football for Coach McMahon's, right?
That's right, yeah.
How'd you guys do last night?
We did okay. We lost 20-12 to Bosco Tech. We played well, though. It was a close game, and we had a lot of opportunities we just couldn't capitalize on.
We like Coach McMahon's here on the show. Tell him we said what's up. We're happy to have you on the show, Colin, and we're going to put you to work. Is that cool?
Definitely. I'm excited.
All right. Thank you to Temecula Valley High School, the Golden Bears, for coming on the show. The University of Redlands, our home opener, coming up next Saturday, the 17th, against George Fox University. We appreciate them taking the time to come out and join us here on the Inland Sports Show. Next week, we'll talk week 3, and we're also proud to announce a new partnership with Cal Baptist University. We'll talk more about that next week as we go into a nice agreement with CBU to kind of highlight the Lancers sports out there, and we're scheduled to have women's volleyball on next Saturday from CBU. I'm Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next Saturday right here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports Radio, 1350 AM.